you guys? Hello. So yeah. Oh my god. Two milestone three. Two. Looks like the killer is delirious. Oh. Guys, if you want to know what I was doing and not uploading, I was watching Pennywise. Yeah, I like. People say he's immortal and he's a parasite, but honestly, I feel like he's just a misunderstood clown. Nah, just kidding. Yeah, still going. Probably going for 2 times now. I'm like probably the easiest 2 times to get. So I don't blame you if you target me. I'll go with. So he's play now. Anyways, so exciting. Whoa. And anyways, if you hear or saw a bit of the video, then yeah. It's big.
It was a rainy October day in 1947. Naturally, as a 6-year-old boy, Georgie Denbrough had to go to play. So he suited up in his yellow rain jacket and asked his big brother Bill to make him a paper boat. So there you go. The boat was pushed along the gutter in a very poorly forged drain system, which was managed by his father, Zach. Then the boat began to pick up speed, and not wanting to lose it, little Georgie raced raced after, not knowing that he was rushing into his way in the water. He was unable to grab his boat before it washed into the sewer, where a man in clown makeup introduced himself as Mr. Robert, otherwise known as Pennywise. Pennywise did not immediately become aggressive. First, befriending George and tempting him to reach into the grades to get his boat. This is the very reason that the shape-shifting man so often opted to use the clown form of Pennywise, because most children love clowns, or at least they did before these came out. Today, he would probably have to take the form of some important YouTuber or something, but he would use the form of Pennywise to lure children in, because children have the most active imaginations, and so make the richest meals for kids. Once he has drawn them in, he brings out his pulsing eyes and razor-sharp teeth and devours them while they are roasted for food. Again, much like I do when I'm devouring my toes. That is the fate that meets you. It was the first of a whole slew of deaths and experiences. The next was Betty Ripson. Betty screams and once her parents for the rest of his life. The next month, when the school back in setting, Betty has been seeing her nights as watching the grid. Pennywise prices the account of the sewers with the prospect of the lake. Thomas is now growing up, and making it seem like the sewers are basically a fucking bed. And reaches up onto the grave, and Ben recognizes it as the mummy of the Lord. Ben is in the sewer. The same cannot be said for Cheryl. Then, towards later, 3-year-old Beth Clemens is abducted by Pennywise, fighting to high school responsible for the shape of the person that is holding the same bird that his father saw after the Black Spot fire, and combines Mike's favorite birds from when he was attacking his friends as a baby. And orange pom-pom button. Stan's friend Eddie Kasprack has a similar experience with it. Eddie would sometimes play around with Rainier, and one day, Hobo would summer, Ben has this dream where he's playing baseball and he hits a home run. As he's rounding the bases, he sees a clown waving to him in the tree. He doesn't remember the rest of the dream, but he wakes up with a wind, as if he'd been weeping. It is doing everything in its power to instill fear in these members of the Losers Club who escaped on the first extenders. But what would take place later that summer would take things to a level never before seen in Derry's history. Edward ran, it took the form of the creature from the Black Lagoon. The last thing he sees is the creature's eyes glowing white, and the light leaking through the fins on its head. This was most likely Edward attempting to process the dead bodies. Shortly after, Mike Hanlon finds Edward's knife near the spot that he died. He hears a splash come from the canal and sees something moving inside of the pipe. Mike runs away, but he has a feeling that someone is chasing him all the while. He would go on to share his experiences with the rest of the losers, who would also explain their encounters. When Bill tells the story of his encounter with George's photo book, Richie Tozier says that he wants to see the album as well, so Bill takes it back, only to discover that George's school photo is missing from the book. Instead, there's a photo of Bill Dare somewhere near the canal, and Bill and Richie see themselves as a couple of sailors on this island. The picture begins to move, and Pennywise pops out of the canal, but he has the face of George. See, these deepfakes are getting way too good. Oh, okay. At this point, the real Bill Denver reaches into the pool before Richie pulls his arm back out to save him and closes the pool with his hand. This scene foreshadows the final confrontation of Pennywise. Bill and Richie have always been the ones to directly confront Pennywise. An important distinction is that they aren't the only ones to come back, but they are the only two who are willing to take the fight to its domain. This incident also marks the first time that Richie starts to realize that it is a monster with supernatural properties rather than physical ones. Bill and Richie would once again take the fight to Pennywise's domain when they decide to go to 29 Maple Street to investigate any story about the legend. They climb into the basement, and this time it takes them to the where Richie saw whether like I would just start laughing and my worst fears kept turning into these cheesy movies.
I think they're just having a bad mood.
I can just imagine, oh no, please don't kill me, and then the monster turns into like this guy. I'd be cracking up, but I'm pretty sure it was scary. Bill breaks his father's gun, but what ends up hurting Pennywise more than the gun is Richie screaming at him in Irish cop voice and throwing sneezing powder back at him. This is because it operates on belief. Just as their fear of it makes them juicier targets, their confidence in the elder by using the voice of an authority figure and to scare them away without having to face them directly. They come across 3 doors. The first contains a bed, which explodes and oozes out black liquid. The second sounds like it has a loud buzzing insect behind it, but it turns out to only be a loose blower, which is essentially a can that puts out a constant noise as sort of an audio scarecrow for farmers. The third door is just a bathroom, but the toilet seems to have exploded, leaving the white person. It explodes out of the room, taking the form of a werewolf, attacking the bed. Beverly fights back with a slingshot loaded with silver ball bullets, which they believe to be effective based on the werewolf. She hits it on the snout with her last shot, sending blood everywhere. However, the losers are now defenseless, with no remaining ammo. Bev pulls back the slingshot again and uses her belief to try to frighten it, sending it diving back into the drain, screaming, "I'll kill you all." Not much happens in the next couple of weeks leading up to the big confrontation, but there is some activity. It decided to bring out a new should it ever rise again. So the 1957-1958 cycle ends. It's back with a vengeance on the people of Derry and those who had beaten it so many years before. On one side, there are 3 guys, Steve Dubay, John Muir, and Chris Brown. They're harassing a homosexual couple, Don Haggerty and Adrian Mill. The initial dispute is broken up by police, but later, Garden and Dubay and Mellon Pennywise the Clown. Mellon might have survived the fall, but Pennywise drags him under the bridge and bites into his own huge teeth. At this time, thousands of people still who stayed in Barry all these years to prevent it. Mike wanted to be sure that it was back before he contacted his own. He stood by as Pennywise claimed blood from Lisa Alden in 2019, and then Stephen Johnson reported partner in the year. In February 14th, 1985, two more children disappeared, Dennis Torrio and Orianne Winter. Dennis is body was but want to have proof before alerting the others. Bodies continue to pile up. Dawn Roy, a 13-year-old girl, is found killed in a apartment. 24, 16-year-old Adam Walt is killed. 2 weeks later, it says Pennywise and Marcus told their friends his 2 girls how they uses the restroom and drills. His mother was outside. She heard screaming, repeated flushing of the toilet, but actually, she found her son. She had to be taken to the mental hospital. Only 1 week after Jessica Gully was first near the canal, John Fury injured an elbow to the hospital. Fury was found with his legs torn off, making each other an elbow to an elbow, so that's between Mike would soon make the 6 phone calls to remind his friends of the promise they once made. The news was too much for Stan, who took his own life. In the meantime, Itz would also be calling back an old friend, Henry Bowers, who was sitting in Juniper Hill Mental Asylum, began hearing the same familiar voice of Pennywise speaking to him. I love that. It also scared Ben using the form of Dracula and told him about the death of Stan. Before disappearing, it leaves behind a balloon with a message, have a good fall, so now you die. In the movie, Pennywise spends more time warning the losers that they should get more town, which I don't really find to fall in line with the character so much, because in the novel, it comes back and wants revenge on those who mess with him, so it wouldn't really make sense for him to lure them all back and then make them believe. Eddie takes his walk down memory lane, not down memory lane, because the bullies in the place, rather down West Road. He comes upon the Dracula's Green Road, this is where all the kids used to play baseball, and he sees a loud curtain of Welsh wagons coming from the fence, and then the canvas squares that they used to use as bases fly into the air, taking off. Tony users would have seen coming for the finish. Describes him as being an easy target and capable of seizing targets. On the other hand, to some course, I mentioned way back at the beginning of this video, even before I started talking about the tacos, that created both of them. Bill hears the sound of the spider's heart pounding now, like an enormous drum. He punches his way into it, reaches for the heart, and crushes it in his hand. The creature jerked and quivered, but as it died, the light faded from it. Bill heard the voice of the other telling him, "Son, you did real good." Richie was basically passed out at this point, and Ben had finished stomping out over 100 eggs, and he thinks he's gotten them all. Audra falls from the webbing she's strung up in and lies crumpled on the ground with catatonic states. Eddie has died, and Beverly's pack of matches is their only source of light to get them. Meanwhile, a huge storm is above there, and the flood that would ensue is a metaphorical washing out of all of the bad history that had come on board over the 300 or so years of its existence. The flood would end up destroying much of Main Street, and many buildings near the canal were swept away. The losers were able to climb directly out of the destroyed sewer pipes to the street above. As they left there, their memories of everything that had happened between them and kids began to fade once again. But this time, even Mike, who was still recovering in the hospital, would lose his memories of the horrific occurrences that took place in and under their domain. At this point in the story, it is widely believed that Hitz, the creature that had caused so much pain and taken so many lives, was dead. However, some might say that simply isn't true. Stephen King would go on to write many more novels that either take place in or reference there. Some of them seem to imply that the battle of the losers in 1985 was not the
But Walmart has all the hottest toys, like this primal T-Rex. Oh! Stop! Gooey!
Gooey what?
How is that joking?
They were close. It's all-inclusive destination. Switch tires. She books a trip towards Toyota Joe's Tire Center. It's like a one-stop shop for trusted tires, price match promise, and more.
this adaptation also exists in Stephen King's universe, but you'd have to think that in order for that to be possible, someone had to see the real so I think this is too scary.
Bye.